The Stars, My Destination by Alfred Bester. All right, this is my first review, so bear with me. Now, this book is pretty well known in the science fiction community, but outside of that, it's probably not that well known. I first read this book around 18 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. When people ask me what my favorite science fiction book of all time is, I usually cheat and tell them it's a tie between this book, My Stars, the Destination, and Dune by Frank Herbert. Now, Alfred Bester, he's known for this piece of work and The Demolished Man. And he wrote a few other short stories, and then 10 years later, he wrote some more. But based on these two stories, he got nominated and won Grand Master Award of Science Fiction. So it's pretty impressive that with such a small body of work, he was able to achieve that. Now, the book itself takes place in somewhere around the 24th or 25th century, and humanity has spread out throughout the solar system. If you've seen The Expanse or read The Expanse, I think the authors took a lot from this book, because there's this idea that the inner planets are against the outer planets, and all of that political intrigue is built into this book. In the prologue, they set up one of the main elements of this story, and that's teleportation. There's this guy who happened to teleport because his life was threatened. And then they recreated another scenario to see if he could do it again, and he did. And they studied it and learned how to do it, and everyone in the solar system has the ability, almost everybody. And it goes into a lot more depth than that, but it's part of the fun of this book is reading that and finding out the rules of teleportation. Now, if you're an avid fantasy reader, think of it as the magic system. There's certain rules, and they'll play a big part in the book as it goes forward with the plot. The main protagonist of the book is kind of an anti-hero, but not even really that. He's more of a villain. And the author does such a good job, because everything he's doing, you can't get behind it, but somehow you're rooting for him. So I can't go into the plot too much more without spoiling anything, so I'll leave it at that. There's so much in this book, though. There's political and economical intrigue. There's teleportation, drug use, weird drug use. There's a freak show, telepathy. There's cyberpunk elements. There's a minor love story. There's questions of free will. And then there's the ending, which I can't give away, but it beats out all of those. So the pros and cons for this book. It was my second read, and I knew what was going to happen, but it still gripped me, and I found myself smiling half the time reading it. It's a really short read. It's 250 pages, and there's so much packed in here. It's hard to put down. A lot of people can read this in one sitting. The cons, it feels a little bit outdated, but not too much. This book was way ahead of its time. It was written in 1956, and it holds up so well. Another thing is the protagonist. The way he speaks and acts in the beginning can be a little grating, but just keep reading. It's only like that in the very beginning, and it gets better. And push through it, and you'll be rewarded. The ending of this book is amazing. The way everything twists and turns and comes together. The final chapters are written, and there's these visualizations thrown in to the end of the book that just match up perfectly with the story. It's incredible. So Goodreads has this book at a 4.08, and I think I had it at a 10 before, but I'm going to give it a 9.5. Do yourself a favor, pick this book up. It's 250 pages. It's a fun read. It'll be a great way for you to get into science fiction. It's an even better way to get into the golden age of science fiction. If you want to know a little bit more about my channel, watch my intro video. Other than that, thanks for watching my video.